Ooh, hello, hyperspace. My name is Davontos, and it's time to get hyped because this is some Moira gameplay. This gameplay is actually taking place in a zero-gravity game mode, which is not really serious gameplay. However, the advice I'm going to give you is going to make you a much better Moira player, and it's actually a lot of mistakes that Moira players tend to do. I've been doing a ton of research with Moira, I've been playing a ton of Moira myself, and a lot of people say the exact same thing about her. There are some players who just use her, well, wrong, and if you actually avoid these things, it was going to make you a much better Moira player. So let's actually get right into this. The number one thing that most Moira players do that's just not right is they don't use her as a healer. They use her as a DPS simply because it's easy to lock onto a target, drain their health, and get kills. It may be easy to lock onto targets. It may be easy to get kills. However, her role as a DPS just doesn't fit because her damage is so low. Winston does more damage than she does, and we know Winston's Tesla cannon is really weak. Moira is a healer, therefore you should be healing, and what a lot of people don't know is that Moira is possibly the best healer in the game because she can take out flankers if necessary. Genji doesn't stand a chance against her. She can heal whole teams with her orbs and her coalescence, so she's kind of like, as you guys guessed it, a mixture of a DPS and a healer. However, that doesn't make her a DPS character. She has to be healing. A really good Moira player would actually be getting gold healing all the time. She can obviously out-heal Lucio and Zen. She can even out-heal Mercy and Ana. And that leads me on to the second tip, how to get maximum healing. So, with Moira, there's that little health meter thing on the side, when you spray your mist and it drains, you want to try to conserve that for as much as possible. And how to do it is to burst heal. Now, I mean by burst healing is, let's say for example, you got a... What most Moira players do is, let's say I play D.Va, right? You guys know I main D.Va, and D.Va has a ton of health. If I take a lot of damage, and let's say I'm down to like maybe 250 health, I fly back to Moira and I'm like, I need healing, and Moira sprays me with the mist. That's fine, she's doing healing as she should be. The problem is, she just holds the mist on me, and keeps it there. And yeah, it may fill up my health ridiculously fast, but she is draining her health meter. Well, Moira's draining her healing tank, whatever. She's draining it way too quick. You want to conserve it, because Moira's healing actually has an after effect, very similar to Widow's Venom Mine. You guys know when you trigger Widow's Venom Mine, the damage keeps, taking you down time over time until it does a total of like 75 damage. Moira's healing mist is the same way. You can do a quick burst, and it's going to actually hit your teammate, it's going to give a quick burst of healing, and then it's going to slow down, and then stop. Therefore, if you have somebody, let's say like a Genji or a Tracer who actually needs healing, just hit them with a little puff. That's it, just one puff. You don't have to hold this spray on them and keep on until their health is fully restored. Just hit them with the puff. It's going to do a quick burst, and then it's going to slowly fill up on its own. Now, if it's a tank we're talking about, as I said, like D.Va or Reinhardt, then you're probably going to wind up holding it on them for a little bit. Not the whole way through until their health is restored, just a little bit longer than you normally would, and you're actually going to see your mist will take effect and it will continue healing them even when you stop healing. That's a really, really useful tip for Moira, and I don't think a lot of players actually knew that because they just, well, as I said, they just hold down that mist on you. And another thing I want to talk about Moira is those orbs. Those orbs are really, really powerful. They can make or break a situation. And what a lot of people do is, I know people get confused between these orbs because Moira just came out and you don't know which button is for like poison orb and which one is for healing orb, but once you get used to it, you have to know when to use it in the right situation. Moira has that teleport ability. You can teleport into the battlefield, heal somebody, teleport back out, heal your defenses and all that stuff. Well, this gives you a wide view on the battlefield, and you should know what orb should be used in what situation. So let's say, for example, you're playing in Eichenwald, right? And you're about to approach the final point in Eichenwald. Your team is all at full health and making a final push. Therefore, if you're still in the back lines, throw a toxic orb in there. Help your team out because nobody needs healing. Now, if you guys are making a push and you do need healing, then you can throw the healing orb at your team and follow up with some mist. Or Coalescence. Coalescence is a very, very powerful ultimate. No, it can be interrupted with flashbangs, roadhog hooks, and so on, but it's still a very, very powerful ultimate. People use Coalescence as a way to attack, and that's actually a really bad way to use it because it's actually not that powerful when it comes down to giving damage. It's about as powerful as Zarya's gun, if it's charged to about maybe 60 or 70%. Now granted, that's still very powerful, but there are just ultimates in the game that just it just outperforms that. Like, for example, well, Bastion. Bastion's does 300 per cannon, and that's obviously going to outperform Moira's damage with her Coalescence. So how you want to use Coalescence is the same way you would use Transcendence, or how would use Drop the Beat. You guys know, Lucio's like, group up with me. Everybody groups up with Lucio. He's like, oh, let's break it down. You guys got this ton of health, and you just storm in there. That's how you use Coalescence. Same thing with Transcendence. Zenyatta says group up. He activates Transcendence. You're all in that Zenyatta symbol sun thing, and you guys just go in as an invisible force. That's what Coalescence should be used for. Moira just sprays into the area, your team, jumps in and out of the Coalescence beam, quickly getting healed, and on top of that, Moira can damage the enemies and the other, on the other side of the enemy team, making it easier for you guys to get the kills. So Moira she is an insanely powerful hero if she's just used correctly. As I said before, a lot of people just use her for DPS. Don't use her for DPS. Use her for healing. Try to conserve your healing tank, whatever you want to call it, and if you actually really have to fill up that healing tank, then that's when you go in and start, sucking the life out of the enemies with your Venom hand, and then when you have enough or it's filled, then you go back to healing. You don't want to use her as a DPS. If you want to use Moira as a DPS, you're better off just taking Soldier or McCree or even Bastion, because they're more reliable than Moira. They can actually get kills. The only people Moira can successfully get kills on are squishies like Genji, Zenyatta, and so on. Even McCree can give her a hard time. So, if you like this video, punch that like button with a mighty force. Let me know if all this Moira tips actually helped out in the comment section below. You can follow me up on Twitter at Davontos, man. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next video. Have a nice day!